everybody? It's the Rob from 106.1 Kiss FM here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please welcome back to the show the insane luchador, Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
Do I look tan? Huh? Do I look golden brown?
Well, you're asking a colorblind man, but yes?
No, I don't. No, the answer is no.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I didn't want to insult you.
In fact, I have like stripes. I have sunburned stripes all over my body because I don't know how to do sunblock right. My father would go in the sun, Rob, for 30 minutes, and he would look like he was Dominican. He had that golden, dark Italian stallion type skin that I don't have. I have like printer paper and owl, and it's burnt. And so, like, instead of being all golden and Floridian looking, I just look like fruit striped gum.
I'm sorry, your two settings are printer paper and what?
Ouch.
Oh, ouch. Okay, well, that makes more sense. Man, yeah. Did you have a nice time in Florida?
We did. We had a very good time. A lot of beer. Beer has been drunk. A lot of sun has been soaked. The kids had a good time. Nobody was eaten by a gator. I call that a success.
Evan's birthday party looked like it was off the hook.
Dude, it was great. There's a place called Zoomers, and it's like all go-karts and like arcades and all this cool stuff. The best part was it's not spring break in Florida. In fact, it was just a Tuesday morning where everyone else was at school, so we were the only ones there.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome.
It was great, and he's like me. He didn't want other people there. He was happy.
F other people, yeah.
And we went to see Black Panther, which was amazing. And he got a lot of action figures, and he's ready to go. The problem I'm running into is his favorite superhero is, without a doubt, Deadpool. And
I see the problem.
Yeah, I can't show him the movie. He can't see that movie at all.
Yeah, not yet.
He has Deadpool jammies. He has Deadpool action figures. He has all this Deadpool stuff, and I can't. Sorry, buddy. We can watch Doctor Strange again, but I can't give you Deadpool.
I bet you there'll be a time when like it's on cable and cleaned up.
Oh, great! It'll be 40 minutes long.
Well, or like they change the words around to be all something that they're not really saying.
Sure.
Deadpool's a good one. I feel like I haven't seen Black Panther yet. I don't know some of the ones, and I know people love them. Like, but there's just some that haven't jumped out at me as something I got to see. Black Panther's one of them. I know everyone loves Wonder Woman, and I know I will see these movies, and I know I will like these movies.
You're fine missing Wonder Woman. You're fine missing Justice League. Those DC movies didn't register with me. They don't click with me at all, which is a shame because I always liked DC comics. Batman's one of my favorites in the world. I like all the DC superheroes with the exception of Superman. I never really got into him. But their movies are terrible, and they don't stand up against Marvel at all.
See, I like Batman a lot, especially when it comes to movies. I think his movies are number one, but I was definitely more a Marvel guy.
The Batman movies are the best. The Christopher Nolan Batman movies,
those are number one.
Tops, without a doubt. But then you go to Michael Keaton and Val Kilmer and George Clooney before you even get to Ben Affleck. We could nerd out about comics all day. Sure. I know we want to talk about wrestling.
Let's nerd out about wrestling. So you did get home in time, and my understanding is you watched Fastlane pretty much live, right?
I watched it live. I did not watch Raw or SmackDown last week, but I did watch.
So funny because they were solid episodes. Even SmackDown delivered last week.
And I missed them. I did while I was working out. I listened to you and Travis. Thanks again to Travis for helping out last week.
Yeah, big thanks to Travis.
And so I listened to that, and that got me caught up on everything. And I went back and I watched the Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman thing to see if it was as bad as you guys thought it was. And I don't think it was as bad as you thought it was, but I don't think it was great. And
did I say it was bad? I'm trying to remember what I thought.
One of you said that it just isn't clicking and it just didn't work at all. And I don't agree with that. But at the same time, everything Paul Heyman said was bull crap. Because he was talking about how if you're going to be the guy, you got to be willing to show up at the show with the belt. And meanwhile, he's standing in the ring with the belt because his champion didn't show up. So I didn't like that part of it. I can't wait for Brock Lesnar to not be champion anymore. I don't care that it means Roman Reigns will be. I'm ready for Brock to be done.
Yeah, so you want Brock gone, even if he's around at a special attraction without the championship, you're ready for him gone?
I shouldn't say gone. I don't mind him coming back every once in a while, just like I don't mind Taker coming back every once in a while when he could perform. But I don't want him to be the champion anymore. I'm done with Brock as champion. It's time to put the belt on somebody that can take it to house shows, I think.
Well, he certainly made a lot of noise at house shows this weekend. He was at some of them.
Yeah?
Yeah, he pinned Miz in 30 seconds.
Squashing people.
Yeah, and then last weekend, I think he squashed somebody else in 30 seconds. I can't remember who it was.
So what do you think about that? Him going to house shows to kill people, but he won't show up on Raw?
Dude, okay. This is such an easy answer because I could go throughout the history of this show and you saying that's how you want him booked. And now it's just been happening for so long that you're tired of it.
Maybe.
I still think it's okay to have him be a special attraction.
I don't like that he doesn't defend it except for every 3 months.
That's what I was going to say is if he's going to be champion, he needs to be a bit more visible, or at least the title be a bit more visible. But I like him as a special attraction. I think he's good at it. I think his matches build excitement. There's no one who I get excited about more than Brock because we don't see him all the time. And that's, I think, is very important. And I don't need him gone. I wouldn't mind. Listen, I don't want it to be Roman Reigns. I think I'd rather have Brock champ than, in fact, scratch that. I'd rather have Brock champ than Reigns.
No, thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to take Brock personally. And also, I'm going to remind you, I don't think it's a good idea to have 2 championships.
Well, we agree on that, but there's nothing we can do about that. In fact, the championship I really care about was defended last night, and I'm really happy with where it's stuck.
Let's talk about it. Do you want to start with a letter grade?
We can. I bet we have the same letter grade. I bet we do.
I'm bouncing between 2. Sometimes I'm steadfast. Sometimes I can go back and forth.
I'm going to give it a... Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
My letter grade, I can go as low as a C+ or as high as a B-.
I was so wrong.
What do you mean?
I can go as high as a C-.
Interesting. Is that what you...
That's it. I can go as high as a C- because the main event was great. The wrestling was good. Maybe I'd give it a C, but like that show bored. Like I found myself very bored. Even when things that were cool were happening, it never really took off for me.
All right. So I'm going to be defending a C+ grade, which is not a great grade, but let me tell you some reasons that made the show good.
Instead of defending your C+, let's defend your ceiling. Try to defend the B you were willing to give it.
Okay, which was a B-, but still I'll defend it.
Okay.
So what I like from pay-per-views, there's a 3-tier system that I use. I like good wrestling. I like stories to progress. I like water cooler moments. Stuff happened. Stuff happened last night, big time.
Yeah, it had it. It had it. It had it in spades.
I will say it was missing the water cooler moment. Asuka's not a water cooler moment. The Bludgeon Brothers, not a water cooler moment. All these things are good, but not water cooler moments. So I'm willing to say that one was absent.
The Bludgeon Brothers happened probably 5 minutes before I thought it would. I thought it was going to happen after we had a winner. But it happened, and so now we're going to get a triple threat probably for Mania. That's okay.
At least, yeah. But let me give you a few examples here. So you said outside of the main event, none of the wrestling was that great. I thought there were 2 matches outside of the main event that delivered, in my opinion.
Okay.
I was a real big fan of the tag championship match, especially after it ended. That segment still went over big with me with the Bludgeon Brothers being booked like the Bludgeon Brothers should.
Yeah, I liked that match. I did enjoy that match, and the Bludgeon Brothers coming out entertained me. But up to that point, the match wasn't clicking with me.
And then, strangely, I wound up being a bigger fan than I thought I would be of Charlotte and Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott definitely impressed me, although I didn't care for that match very much. Like the Shinsuke Nakamura-Rusev match was more interesting to me.
That match was okay, but I didn't think it was better than Charlotte and Riot. And
it was a house show match, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that match, and hopefully, I mean, like, if it's not WrestleMania, I don't know when I'm gonna find the Nakamura match that I can be like, yes, he's awesome.
If he can't give it to us in the WrestleMania main event for SmackDown against AJ Styles, then we're not gonna see it.
I just have to agree with you. If he can't do it at WrestleMania, he just might not be the guy for me.
Everybody keeps talking about this New Japan. I guess they had a match in New Japan. They had a main event in New Japan together a while ago.
Actually, I think it might have been for their Intercontinental Championship, but still.
Was it good?
I haven't seen it.
I mean,
it's reportedly very good.
Sam Roberts told me in his nasally voice last night a million times how it's the dream match. I'm like, it'll be a good match. I've never dreamt of it, but okay.
He's unbelievably bad.
He's so bad. We'll get to that at some point, right? Like, I did watch some of the kickoff show. The mistakes they made were laughable. He said WWF a couple times.
I didn't even catch that. I didn't watch much of the pre-show.
Booker T would talk. He would ask someone a question and then talk over them the entire time they answered him. Dolph Ziggler cut a pretty decent promo. You wouldn't know. Booker T never stopped talking. It was unbelievable. And at one point, he starts talking about a triple threat match, and Renee's like telling him to stop talking about it, but she doesn't know she's on camera.
Stop talking about what?
So Jinder Mahal came out, and Jinder Mahal came out and was talking about Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, and Booker starts, I think, progressing the story in a way that he wasn't supposed to yet, because it's clearly going to be a triple threat match at Mania, and no one knew it yet. And he was like, "We're going to need a triple threat match," and he starts blowing it, and Renee's doing this and telling him to stop, and I was like, "This is so bad." Sam Roberts is the worst.
I've heard a theory about Sam and Peter Rosenberg.
Yeah, I don't mind Peter, actually.
I agree. I don't mind Peter, but there's this theory going around after something Kevin Owens said that implies that those two are actually not being paid by WWE and are actually paying to be a part of that, to like advertise their brands.
What?
But I don't know that I buy that. Please don't take this as gospel, but Kevin Owens, while in like a Twitter war with Peter Rosenberg, implied that that's the deal, that he pays to be on the shows. And essentially he's paying for that Twitter handle thing and the exposure. And, because it always says Peter Rosenberg at what, Hot 96 or whatever he's at, or Hot 97, yeah. Hot 97 in New York.
That would not impress me.
But Peter's watchable. Sam is not. Sam's awful. No. So
but Sam keeps telling me it's a dream match, and now we're gonna get it.
So there were three matches that I thought were really well done, and then you had storyline progression with Sami, Zayn, and Kevin Owens. You had storyline progression with Asuka challenging Charlotte. You had storyline progression with the U.S. Championship. There was a new champion that I don't think a lot of people were expecting. If you go back and I did say that was the one I had the hardest time with, and I wouldn't be shocked if Orton won that one, but I know you resent when I do that. Like at the Royal Rumble. You're not
allowed to do that. You picked your pick.
I did. I picked my pick. And by the way, we didn't disagree on a single match.
Oh, okay.
So I guess the block of destiny would still be with me.
Although I predicted the Asuka show up.
Yeah, I mean, so that was another thing that that's not a match though.
For me, the first hour and a half lost me, and it took till the main event to get me back. I mean, when you start the show with a Shinsuke Nakamura Rusev match, that doesn't matter. That like nobody believes for 1 second Shinsuke is going to lose it, since he's guaranteed a main event at Mania. So there's that match. Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, they just bored me so much. Randy Orton even said in an interview beforehand that like, well, Bobby Roode's getting the best of me right now, and he's not. He's getting an aging, uninspired Randy Orton that nobody cares about anymore. And Bobby Roode isn't impressing me right now either. because face Bobby Roode makes me bored. Then you get Becky Lynch, Naomi, Natalya, and Carmella. I wish I had fallen asleep.
That matchup, I'm not going to defend.
That was terrible.
I didn't hate
the tag match and the tag match is good, but I'm not paying attention to it because I'm so bored at this point. Not until the Bludgeon Brothers music hits that I look up from Instagram. Truly, they lost.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't think those first two matches were bad matches, but they certainly weren't great. And I can get why you'd be drifting away during those matches. And again, I'm defending, and I'm willing to meet you with a C+, or if you want to say as a show, we give it a C, I'm okay with that too.
I think that's okay. Cause it's not a terrible show. And the main event
wasn't
great.
Bad. And the main event was really, really good. I wouldn't put it down as potential match of the year, but I thought it was really good. Stuff happened with Shane too. Like, I just thought it's the worst when you watch the show and it felt missable. And I felt like if you missed the show last night, you missed a few things. You did. So,
well, they did a really good job of telling everybody's story in that 6-pack without it making seem like people were stalling. And, I understand there's a lot of that in those matches. They roll out of the ring and they lay face down for about 5 minutes and they let people have their time, but it never felt like they were stalling. It always felt like it was moving. The match never stopped. And I liked that. And I loved the Sami and KO stuff. Loved it.
I did not, the match and I got off on the wrong foot. I did not like the 5 or what was it, 4 AAs right at the start.
Nobody did. No, nobody did.
What were they thinking?
It's like we're just gonna put our finisher on everybody. Boom, 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 boom. Everybody but AJ.
There were a lot of finishers last night,
and Cena kicked out of all of them.
Well, and I was kind of hoping for more from Owens and Zayn, especially when Zayn reminded everybody that he's gonna lay down for Kevin. Oh, I guess they did kind of play that out. I guess, didn't they?
They did. They wrapped it up, and then right at the end, KO didn't trust him, and he gets rolled into the small package. And that's the moment that the match turned for me, because that's when I stopped thinking that it was a foregone conclusion that AJ Styles was going to win. I legitimately thought that the camera was in the right spot. I thought Sami was going to pin Kevin Owens. I can kind of see the person on the bottom load up to skin the cat. You can sometimes see them ready to kick out. And I could tell Kevin Owens wasn't going to kick out. I don't think he was going to. And I was like, oh my God, Sami's going to win. And then the ref gets pulled out. And then KO is going to pin him. And then KO gets pulled out. And I was like, oh, I really believed that they were going to win for a minute. And then I didn't know what was going to happen.
And during the Attitude Era, that stuff was so overused. The 1, 2, and then the ref gets pulled out. But now it's not like that. So it is kind of refreshing when you see something like that you used to see all the time. But it's like they've kind of chilled. It was like a ref bump. Like, you know how during the Attitude Era, I just loathe every ref bump because every main event had several ref bumps. It was obnoxious.
And they would sell it like they'd been shot by a gun.
Oh, it was ridiculous. Poor Earl had to he'd get like a little, someone would be like on someone's shoulders and get a little kick to the face. He got spun around and caught the edge of his boot. The guy had to sell it like a plane flew into him. And last night was no different because they used to do that all the time with the ref too, was, 1, 2, pull the ref out. And now you don't see it all the time. I enjoy it. So there was also another moment, I think it was after the Haluva kick, that I thought Sami may have pinned Kevin again, but didn't happen.
I was ready for it. And I didn't think that I was going to love Sami Zayn winning, but I think I wanted it. At that point, I kind of wanted it. And they teased everybody, including Cena winning. And then at the very end, out of nowhere, kapow.
Boy, and the one guy I felt like didn't really get teased to win would be Corbin. And he, some of those deep sixes, man.
He looked good.
Oh, yeah. But I just
he came out to prove himself, and you can tell.
I just feel like he's not going to take off much more than he is now, though. Doesn't mean I'm not behind him. I just feel like the crowd doesn't react to them the way that they should, or the way the company wants them to.
Right, and the Money in the Bank might have been his peak, and he didn't even get to cash that in, really.
Because he spoke up about concussions.
What a ding-dong. What a ding dong. So then
we can both agree.
Shane McMahon does that stuff. Did you think Daniel Bryan was coming out? Because I did.
I thought we were going to get more from them, but I think the plan is I've actually heard a new plan for Shane. And what I'm hearing is it's going to be Shane now and Dolph at Mania.
I'll be interested to see how they get to that.
I'm not. Listen, I'm all for having Dolph in a singles match. Totally cool with that. This is getting infuriating to me that Shane McMahon has one of those spots. Undertaker, cool. I get it. Triple H, at least he earned it. And now you got the Shane McMahons in there. You know, it's like, I'm not for these every year. I resent it. It's the only word I can use to describe the way I feel about it.
Shane McMahon gets Survivor Series and he gets WrestleMania. Listen, he's in better shape, I think, than Triple H is at this point, and he's in better shape than the Taker is at this point. But it's still Shane McMahon, and he doesn't deserve a Mania spot. Not an automatic one.
No.
If a story comes along and it makes some sense, then sure. But if you're just crowbarring him in to have a match, which they'll clearly have to do to get to Dolph Ziggler, who he had no story with at all. If anything, he should be part of the continuation with Sami and Kevin Owens. That shouldn't stop.
The only thing I'm cool with would be Daniel Bryan, because that they've built to. Let the mother effer wrestle. Just let the little guy wrestle.
Let him wrestle.
Just let him wrestle.
Because if he doesn't wrestle here, he'll wrestle somewhere else. You might as well put him on your TV. You'll make money.
Yeah, but they can't now. It's too real, and they got stocks, and they just can't. They got protocol, man.
He'll draw. That guy will draw.
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of for who.
Daniel Bryan's return match, even against Shane McMahon, could be a main event at Mania, because people would want to see it.
Won't be a main event. I'm telling I've already told everyone what the main event is, and they were calling AJ and Nakamura the main event last night, but I still don't think it's going to be it.
Well, they did that last year with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. They kept saying that Bray Wyatt earned the main event, and Randy Orton earned the main event by winning the Royal Rumble, and Bray Wyatt had the championship. And they used the word main event for that multiple times, and that wasn't even the next to last match.
Oh, well, not that it wasn't even up there when it comes to hype. I mean, last year, Taker and Reigns went on last, and then you had several matches that were more hyped than SmackDown's main event, including Goldberg and Brock.
Although, I mean, there are 4 matches confirmed right now, and they're all huge matches. They really are. You've got Reigns and Brock, which I'm interested to see because I'm kind of hoping they shoot each other a little bit in that match. Like I feel like if you're a fan of working snug, that match is going to be pretty stiff. So I'm okay with that. The mixed tag match, I saw that package last night. That was the first I saw the stuff that happened on the last week's Raw. That looks great. They're setting that up great.
Boy, you had to see it live.
I didn't though. I saw it in the package, and in the package, man, it looked nice. Kurt Angle didn't flub anything in the package. I mean, it was perfecto in the package.
If you see the live shot, it was laughable with Ronda and the drum roll, which the drum roll has now been edited out because Ronda ruined it. It was awesome.
How'd she? I didn't even know there was a drum roll. I literally got all of the information about that feud from last week on the package last night, and it was great.
It was so funny, Jared. Ronda she's teasing who she's going to announce to be her opponent. Part of her contract was she can choose a WrestleMania opponent.
Sure, and it's going to be you. That's correct. Great.
But before that happens, before she says you, Stephanie gets like mock excited, like, oh, Ronda's about to announce her opponent. I wonder who it's going to be. Should we get a drum roll? Drum roll, please. And there was literally a drum roll that came over the PA. And the drum roll didn't even start. It started as she was saying you. The timing was so far off from where it was supposed to be that Brittany said we have to watch that again. But I still like her. I still want her around.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that.
Hey, by the way, whose mole is more distracting, Charlotte's or Ronda's?
Charlotte's for now, because it's gotten bigger.
Why are these getting so big?
Yeah, why? How are you feeding it? Like, are you putting cortisone in there? Like, what's happening? Why is it so big?
Was Ronda's always there?
I don't know. I think maybe. I never know. It was never as prevalent as Charlotte's. And Charlotte is built in the weirdest way, because I know she's as fit as a fiddle, but she seems like she has a belly to me. But I know she doesn't. But it looks like she does. But she doesn't. It's weird. It's like an illusion.
I feel like Asuka's kind of like that. Asuka's like fit pudgy.
Yeah, Asuka seems soft in the midsection, but she doesn't seem like someone that's out of shape. She looks like she's as fit as she's gonna get.
Yeah, no, I agree. She looks like she's in great shape, but still has that, just a little bit of that.
I'm telling you right now, of the 4 matches that have been confirmed, that's the toughest one to predict right now.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I'll save it. Let's the only thing else I'm really excited to talk about, unless I'm forgetting anything, is the tag match and the influence of the Bludgeon Brothers.
You said it perfectly. The Bludgeon Brothers came out and did exactly what the Bludgeon Brothers are supposed to do and needed to do. How they book that into a viable match, I don't know, because I've only seen them go up against squashers.
Yeah, jobbers.
Yeah, squashers. We'll call them squashers today. Say what?
Happy birthday, Jake the Snake.
Oh, we missed you, Jake. No, so the squashers, and they crush them, and then they come out and they crush the Usos and New Day, but they won't in a match. I mean,
I think a match at WrestleMania would not play out like a squash, although who knows? They've really got the demolition feeling down pat. It's kind of like they're booked the way they're supposed to be booked, like kind of like Demolition, just like these monster heels that give no Fs.
And they've made us forget that they were part of the Bray Wyatt lose to everybody crew.
That's true. That's very true.
I mean, like it went. I mean, we talk about Bray taking a lot of losses. Those were his cronies that would lose for him to not lose, and he still took a lot of losses. So
that was his mistourage.
Yeah, Erick Rowan was Bo Dallas.
Yeah, exactly. So they've really come a long way. One guy on the post show who's been very supportive of this angle, I think more than anybody, has been Mike, and I would imagine that Mike would be. By the way, happy birthday to the 2 big members of the Post show. I always forget that Mike and Steve share a birthday, but
happy birthday, Steve. Was yesterday Mike's birthday?
Yeah,
I somehow missed that completely. Like I thought Mike's birthday was last week, and I missed it when I was in Florida. So I missed it yesterday.
Yes, Mike and Steve both had a birthday yesterday.
I wished Steve a happy birthday, and then Mike said he wanted to hit me because I didn't wish him a happy birthday. But then I never wished him a happy birthday because I didn't know yesterday.
I saw some of that, and I didn't. Then it got into a weird gift war, and I didn't know what happened.
I blew it.
Well, why were you okay? So here was my question. So you wish Steve a happy birthday?
Yes.
And
then Mike said you didn't wish me a happy birthday.
So Mike's like, we got heat because you didn't wish me a happy birthday, and then you were like, I was in the hospital. And Mike was like, well, now I feel bad if you're really in the hospital. But you weren't in the hospital.
No, but I thought that Mike's birthday was like 2 months ago, and he was just giving me crap. So I joked and said maybe I was in the hospital.
So then it turns into just the weirdest of gifts. And I'm trying to follow this. I was going to leave some sort of funny comments on it, but I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't either. And I wasn't in the hospital yesterday, and I didn't know yesterday was Mike's birthday. Can I have a redo? I'm going to wish him a happy birthday today. As soon as we get off from post to post, I'm going to wish him a happy birthday today. And it's going to say, happy birthday, Jake the Snake Roberts. I don't know. Because I screwed up. Mike. I'm sorry.
To be fair, Mike, he wasn't in the hospital. you blamed it on being in the hospital. I'm like, what is Jerry in the hospital and I'm not aware of it? So I'm scrolling through your timeline to make sure I didn't miss something about you being in the hospital.
I think I said I wasn't in the hospital. I was on an airplane. And that's why I put a gift.
Where did the hospital even come from?
I don't know. Listen, this is what I was doing when Nakamura's wrestling Rusev. Like, this is so boring to me. Bobby Roode's out there with Randy Orton. I better find some gifts.
Happy birthday, Mike the Snake Virgin.
I blew it, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, that made my day.
I thought his birthday was 2 months ago.
Why?
I don't get, because I don't look at the updates.
The updates?
It tells you whose birthday is today. I never look at those.
I actually I wished Steve a birthday a day early and then had to take it down because I realized it wasn't his birthday. I don't know if you saw it or not. He was getting birthday wishes like since last Wednesday, which can throw me off.
That's good. He's one of those, I celebrate my birthday for a week, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. But
I can tell because I'm one of those guys too. Like, it's hard to tell when their birthday is. You just kind of know. You get a feel for the area.
Well, I knew Steve's birthday was March 11th because his email address has 311 in it, and I always remember because there was that band 311, and so it's easy. But I thought for some reason that Saturday was the 11th, and I don't know why I thought that. And I saw someone post a happy birthday on his timeline. I'm like, oh yeah, better wish him happy birthday. But
totally screwed everything up.
I'm glad we got to that because I wanted to ask you. I meant to ask you about that.
Well, guess what? I was on vacation and I wasn't myself yesterday. What do you want?
Well, hey, listen, tomorrow.
I'm posting it right now as we speak. You talk. I'm gonna post it
tomorrow or Wednesday. Remind me to tell you a story about. And here's the key word. I'm hoping you can remember this. I might need your help to remember.
Okay.
Toxic turtles. You're not even listening to me, so I don't even know why I'm trying. I'll just wrap things up.
Wait a second. Hold on. What do you want me to remember?
I don't want you to remember anything. It's okay.
No, come on. Toxic turtles. I heard you. We're good. Toxic turtles.
It's okay.
What are you going to tell me about that? I'm the one that told you about the toxic turtles.
And I'm going to tell you more about the toxic turtles.
You went and you researched it, did you?
I wouldn't exactly say that, but I just want to talk to you about it. And we'll do it when we have more time, either tomorrow or Wednesday. Toxic turtles.
You have my undivided attention right now.
I want to save it when I have more time. And I'm worried that, like, tomorrow or Wednesday, there won't be stuff to talk about. And I've got a toxic turtle story. Hey, what? I'm going to wrap it up. All right. Thank you. I'm really glad you're back. And we had you for the first half an hour of the podcast. So it was nice.
Mike has accepted my apology on Facebook. Always right with the world.
Very good. In the meantime, happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday, Jake the Snake. Jerry is out of the hospital and back on Post to Post. And it might be from home, but we're going to have a Raw review tomorrow right here on 103gbfrocks.com.
We're going to do it from the hospital is where we're going to do it from. I'm going to be in the hospital tomorrow.
Jerry was in the hospital and got hit in the head with a bedpan.
Socko.